What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to JD's Nerdverse. We are doing a prediction video today for Natu, the tiny bird Pokemon, this psychic flying type of Generation 2. It's a pretty unique Pokemon. At level 25, we will evolve into Xatu. I think that's how it's pronounced. Let's go over the stats of Natu before we talk about that. 40 HP, 50 attack, 45 defense, 70 special attack, special defense is 45, and speed is 70. With a grand total of our base stat total being 320 for Natu. Not bad for a first stage Pokemon. Special attack and and speed are our two best stats. We'll outspeed most things, and special attack being 70. It's great, but we don't have really any special moves for a while, and you'll see that when I go over the moves. But it's a good stat to have nonetheless. Attack is 50, which is respectable. We will have a lot of flying and normal type moves early, so this will be useful. Defense is okay, and HP is solid. It's okay for a first stage Pokemon. But at level 25, we evolve into Xatu. Xatu is what's known as a mystic Pokemon. Don't know what that means. I think this Pokemon is supposed to have some kind of resemblance to like a totem pole with all of its coloring and things like that. Still flying psychic, and our HP is 65. Attack is 75. 70 is our defense. 95 is special attack. 70 is our special defense, and speed is 95. For a grand total of 470 base stats. It's actually very solid. It's very well balanced. Special attack, and speed are 95. Those are our best stats. Again, we won't get a special attack for a while, but having this stat is still very good for the late game and the post game. Speed is 95. We'll pretty much outspeed everything. And attack 75 is respectable. Considering the fact we are flying type, we will have to use return, and we'll have to use at least fly and peck for a little bit. Defense being 70 is respectable and solid, and our HP is 65. So if our worst stat is 65, we're pretty solid as a Pokemon. Very well balanced, both defensively, speed, offensively, so on and so forth. So let's go and go over to the level up moveset with this Pokemon. Now this is where this Pokemon really has a drop off. So we start the game out with Peck. Peck is great. It's 35 base power, 100% accurate. With Stab, it's about a 58 base power move. Okay. With 58, is it 58 or 53? I can't add. So 17 and a half. Yeah, it's 50. It's 58. Okay. So with that being said, nope, it's 53. I can't add. I really can't add. With that being said, Peck is a solid move to have early. And with this move early, you're going to be able to get through a lot of things. So Bellsprout Tower, we're going to be able to get through a lot of trainers because a lot of trainers have bugs. We're also going to be able to get through our second gym pretty easy. Bugsy is all bugs, so Peck is going to be super duper effective. We also get Leer, which will lower the defense of the opposition, making Peck even more effective. Okay, at level 10 we get Nightshade. Nightshade will have a shelf life and a use in this, but it's not a great move that doesn't age well. So what it does 1 damage for every level you have. So if you're level 10, it does 10 damage. Okay, so it's not the worst move in a pinch. If you need to make sure you do damage, if someone has their defense up, there's something, it can work. But it just doesn't pace long term in the game. Teleport is a move we will not use. Future Sight, probably. I don't think it'll be used, but it could be, I guess. 80 base power, 9% accuracy. So it's not a bad move, but it's not Stab. That's what the problem is with this. So it's a move you initiate, and then like 3 turns later, it hits a Pokemon. So you need to have a long-standing battle. So maybe that'll work against like maybe Elite 4. But I think I need better moves in Elite 4 than Future Sight. So I don't know if I want to waste the whole move slot on that. Confuse Ray, not going to use. It will confuse the Pokemon 100% of the time. But I just don't rely on that. I just don't. And then Psychic at level 50 will be 90 base power, 100% accurate, 135 with Stab. It's a very good move. It works and coincides very well with this Pokemon. Here's the problem, though. This Pokemon, if we evolve, that move goes to level 65. So we will not have this with the Elite 4 because I want to evolve and get those stats as soon as possible with Xatu. And I don't want to go through most of the game with Natu. The stats are decent, but they're not good enough that it's not gonna be worth the time loss to do that. So we will not be getting Psychic till the post game, which is after the Elite 4. So that's disappointing. But this is what I always hear people say that Generation 1, the movesets and stuff are just bad. This is even worse because they were consciously aware that they could make this better. If this Pokemon had, let's just say this Pokemon had Confusion, this Pokemon would obliterate the game. If this Pokemon, instead of at level 10 getting Nightshade, got Confusion, this would obliterate the game. No question about it. Actually might be one of my what if scenarios where this Pokemon gets like Confusion, or maybe Psybeam would be a good one. One of those two. It would just obliterate the game. No question in my mind it would do that. But since we don't have access to that, we do have to rely on some TMs. So let's go and go over the TMs. We don't have a very broad TM list either, and a handful of them don't even make sense. And I'll get into that in a second. Curse, Toxic, Psych Up, won't use. Okay. Hidden Power, we're going to go with Hidden Power Ice. A Hidden Power Ice will make a Gym Leader and an Elite 4 member obsolete. It will make a whole bunch of things obsolete. But what it will do as well is it will coincide well with our special stat. So Hidden Power Ice is the way to go. Sunny Day could probably be used in some cases. There's a strategy around it. Whether I need to resort to that strategy is a different question, but I doubt I will. Snore, Hyper Beam. Snore not going to use. Hyper Beam could be used like in an emergency, but I probably won't need to use Hyper Beam. Protect not going to use. Giga Drain will be great in the post game. You get it when you beat Erica. So against Misty, great move to have. Against Brock, great move to have. And against Red, it's a great move to have. It will replenish your health, and it will be a very effective move that you use against Blastoise. Endure, not going to use. Frustration, not going to use. Solar Beam, maybe use. It could be used. I haven't decided yet. It's 120 base power. It's a very reliable move. What I don't like about it, though, is it's a 2-turn move. But I need to test this mechanic at some point. But I think with Sunny Day up, you don't have to actually take 2 turns, because the sun lights up so much it automatically recharges the Solar Beam. So maybe that's a strategy I use. I think I could have used that with my previous video with Togepi, but I didn't. So I thought that was a fail. I should have done that and used Sunny Day and use those to my advantage. Return is a move that every Pokemon gets, and every Pokemon is pretty much going to use as a good physical move. It's 102 with our all the way up friendship. It's a max out at 102. With the Pink Bow and with Whitney's Gym, it becomes a very formidable physical move. And we also get TM 29 Psychic. So like I said, we're not going to learn this via level up. We're going to get this. As soon as we can get it, we'll get it. And it'll be the most powerful move we have for a long time in this game. Double Team, not going to use. Swagger, not going to use. Sleep Talk, not going to use. Swift, we're going to definitely use Swift. It'll be a variation of a move from Peck. So we have Peck and Swift pretty early. So we have 2 damage dealing moves that we can use, including Nightshade. So it'd be very useful, but it will actually have a decent shelf life because we don't have there's no way to really replace it early. Dream Eater does not make sense with this Pokemon. It makes sense that it can use it because it's a psychic move, but we have no way of putting Pokemon to sleep. So this sits on our moveset being completely and utterly useless. Okay, it is a very powerful move, the most powerful psychic move in the game, 150 base power with stab and 100% accurate, but we have to have the opposition asleep to use it, and it replenishes health. So it's a great move, but we don't. If we had Hoot's level up moveset where he has Hypnosis, so we'd have a different discussion, but we don't have that here. So Detect, not going to use. Rest, it could definitely be used, especially against Red. It might be used. Depends on how desperate we get in that battle. Attract, Thief, can't use. Nightmare is another one that requires the Pokemon to be asleep, but we can't use it. So I guess maybe on a team where one Pokemon can put it to sleep and you can switch this one in, it's useful. I don't know. But I don't see how these 2 moves are even on there because you can't even use them. Fly is a stab move. It's an HM. It's a hidden machine, but 70 base power with stab. It's 105, and it is 95% accurate. But it does go with our physical attack stat, so it's a solid move to have. This Pokemon actually has some pretty good access to some good breeding moves. So in my what if scenario, I got to decide on some things whenever I decide to do a what if. If I decide to do a what if, so like for example, as a breeding move that you can do, you can actually get Drill Peck. So that's a good one. Drill Peck's the best one. You can get Steel Wing as well. Starting the game with a 70 base power Steel move would not suck. But having Drill Peck, a million times better. 80 base power, 120 with stab. It is a move that can hit pretty much anything in the game. It's not as effective against Rock type. But it's not a move that's like Ghost can like avoid it. So it's a very good move to have. And it's very useful. And like I said, I might do a what if scenario, like what if Xatu started with Drill Peck, or what if Xatu had Confusion, or maybe both. Maybe it's a breeded Pokemon, and we're gonna see what a breeded Pokemon with Confusion can do. But yeah, that's the moveset. So when you're looking at this, the endgame moveset for this Pokemon, you're looking at Fly, probably, definitely Psychic, probably Return, and I don't know the other move. I don't really have a third move. Giga Drain. There we go. Giga Drain. So it'd be Fly, Psychic, Return, and probably Giga Drain. So we'll see how that plays out. But let's go and give a prediction for what I think is going to happen. So this Pokemon's pretty solid on the stats part. So there's not like a glaring weakness on stats. The only thing I'd say is a glaring, not really a weakness, it's just like maybe a disadvantage. I mean, that's a definition of weakness, but there's something I don't think is going to like cause it too much problems. It's just its limited move pool. So maybe the mid game around like Price and Jasmine's gym could be issues. But other than that, I think we're going to have a pretty solid run. Maybe Karen will be a problem because I don't see a great way to get around her in one hit. And even if we had Psychic, that wouldn't solve that problem because if they're Dark type, they avoid her. They resist it. Or are immune to it, I guess. So, what do I predict time-wise? I think this whole playthrough would take about... I think it's going to be pretty short compared to some Pokemon. But I think about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 2 hours and 30 minutes would be a sweet spot. I don't see where we're going to have problems. It's not like some Pokemon where like I can see this battle taking multiple attempts to get through it. I don't see that here. I can see... maybe some battles being slightly tough, but not enough that I think we're going to have to go out and like retrain or something and come back. So yeah, I think this is going to be a pretty solid playthrough. I think it's a pretty solid Pokemon. I just wish it got a Psychic move in between all that rather than having to wait all the way to level 65 to get a level up Psychic move or have to go in the post game to get it. Like I said, a Psychic move early would make this, would probably break this game. It's probably why they didn't give him one, to be honest. It'd probably break the game. So let me know what you think in the comment section down below. How do you think Natu and Xatu will do? The video for this will come out on Friday, so at 8 a.m. So tune in and check it out. I think you're going to be very excited for the playthrough. I'm very excited to do the playthrough as well. And then when we get the results, you'll see the results on Friday. So have a good one, and I'll see you guys on Friday.